Happy Monday, it's Ravine here to do the collective reading for August 28th to September 2nd. What intense energy has been coming in with the moon waxing into its full power, its full potential. The energies have just been incredible. I would say the feelings are that of heavy, thick, building tension, squeezing that which does not align. And the intensity, the speed behind it just feels like it's elevating, it's getting faster, it's mounting, it's building. Those are the words that have been coming to me. And it's definitely highlighting, this reading is highlighting the shifts that we've been speaking about in the last few weeks, but manifesting on the physical plane. So let's get into the reading. The Ace of Pentacles flew out, and of course it's in reverse, as you can see. And here it is speaking of all things physical, highlighting everything on the earthly plane. So natural and man-made, including the body, health, career, work, finances. So I'm seeing so many ways that I can interpret this reading with all the things that are going on in the world right now, with finances and fears and many different paradigms. But I really want to stick to the relationship to these things and move past the physicality. I really want to go in deeper than just what is being presented on the physical plane. And I feel like that's what's being drawn out with it being in reverse as well. And so I feel like the root of this reading, this message, is really here in this upturned ace. It's bringing up feelings of insecurity, non-alignment, frustrations, feelings of being trapped or stuck in an environment that doesn't allow growth. It could be feelings of being trapped in thought patterns or cycles that we've been in. It's also highlighting illness and disease in the body, in the mind, unhealthy lifestyles, patterns which can be both physical as well as states of being. So, and then there's also notes of overconsumption, overcompensation, overindulgence, and that has kind of tipped the scale and brings us out of balance. And it links us back to the roots of why. What are we attempting to fill in our lives? Where do we feel like lack is present? And this really comes down to attachment and where we're giving our power away, essentially. So what comes next in beside the ace is the tower. And either you're a tower lover or you're, not excited when you see the tower card. And the tower here, I get very excited because it truly means a crumbling, a reset. Something is, needing to fall away to come back together. So depending on how we see these things in our lives, I feel like the tower is one of the most powerful, most beautiful images, really pushing through our limiting mindsets that keep us stuck in our reality, in our patterns, in our experiences. So the tower is speaking to setting ourselves free. And it's setting ourselves free from limiting mindsets, like I said, limiting environments, attachments, and relationships with the physical. And this, in essence, is a falling from our ivory tower. So the illusions that we've created for ourselves. And so it's really easy to say the illusions that have been created for us, but we have been participating, we have been accepting, we have been co-creating along, with the mind and the impressions we've been given. And so it is really important to take radical responsibility here with what begins in the mind And so this includes really our comforts and illusions that we've created for ourselves in our own world and in the world of the collective, in society. So it's like dualism opening its hungry mouth, exposing the black hole of our reality. But we're at times failing to see that what our reality is a perfect and direct inner projection of what we think and believe. So that is the piece of radical acceptance. Growth occurs at its finest when we step out or we are forced out of this comfort or these truths that we try to secure ourselves with. So there is no growth, there is no movement if we can't step out of these boxes, essentially, that we've created for ourselves. So what is coming through next is the Page of Wands, and this is representing new direction. It's representing the spark. It's representing inspiration, spirit. And so what does one do when they fall from their illusions, when they fall from their belief systems, when their realities are turned, upside down, when they're really ready to break those patterns, whatever it might be, a job, it could be, a relationship, it could be where you're living. And like I said, those belief patterns, those cycles that we're really, tired of cycling through this cyclical movement. We keep like just going through the seasons over and over again, and it's becoming more apparent that they're not serving us, or that we're really feeling stuck in the turning. So this is really where we fall victim to our minds and our belief systems. And the Page of Wands is bringing that new direction in. It's bringing that spark, that inspiration to say, I've had enough of falling victim to my mind. I've had enough of falling victim to my reality of what I've actually created. If we can see our participation in all that is within our realities. So bringing that choice, it's the choice online to say, I'm done with this direction and I'm ready to step into a new direction. And so this is the first step to really taking our power back, to seeing that we have choice. And the wand symbolizes, as I've said, the creative spark, that inspiration, rebirth, opportunity. And the page carries that energy with his own flair. It's like a youth-like confidence. It's releasing the fears along the way, and it's saying, I don't know how, but I know this is the way. Right? So it's like kind of going into that adolescent stage of like, you don't know how, but you just know, and you're just willing to step and take that first step in that direction because the inspiration is so strong. So that's what that is signifying. And it's bringing back this sense of security, this sense of trust in the unknown. Where the feeling before was that falling from that sense, that illusion, that reality we've created for ourselves. So we're becoming more aware. The awareness is coming online. And so this new direction, along with the awareness, is coming online, this inspiration to take steps, to take accountability, to take radical responsibility. And so what follows the page is the King of Wands, and he is anchoring this even deeper into the mind by helping us integrate old fears simultaneously with new ways of being. So he is able to direct these energies by deeply grounding them in a confident way and also further removing obstacles. And this helps us break through the old patterns and tendencies of falling into the victimhood of our realities, of our minds, giving our power away. And so this brings forth new and unavoidable truths, even if it's painful, and the ability to accept them. The king is sovereign. He speaks of standing in your power, standing in your center, taking that accountability. And he breaks the codependency, especially that of the mind, in the thinking and the body, in the doing. So the king also speaks of taking our power back, but it gives us strength and the permissions and the authority needed for us to move into the co-creators that we are. So within that taking our power back, we need that strength and those permissions and that authority within our own being to be able to co-create something new. So do something with that spark that we've been giving, that inspiration, that new direction. This then anchors that into the mind and then says, yes, you have the authority, you have the right, you have the strength, you have the permission to do it. It centers the mind while the page is really that creative drive. And then next comes the knight energy. And the knight is the doer. He's the adventurer, the traveler, the fighter. It's the fire to move the energy and the heart to know how. So there's balance there. He connects the earth and the body and the mind to the heart and the spirit. And he represents the adaptation to change, the vulnerability and authenticity that's needed. And he carries the fire forth to bring inspiration into creation and the love and compassion to see the truth through the seeking. So I will mention that you'll need to hold fast, because the knight also still carries and holds disillusions. So it's like not allowing the knight to fall back into the ego, to take you and knock you from your center again, or become over confidence, or to overindulge in our patterns of thinking. Because what will happen then is we will return to that cycle again. But that's the great thing about what's really being presented to us, is that we are going through these cycles. Then we return back. It'll throw us back into the upturned ace, where this awareness is coming online of the physical that brings us into the tower, that brings us into back to the spark, the wands and the page with the direction that brings us back into the confidence and the drive, that anchoring in to take our power back, which then brings us back into the knight that is ready to move and to take this energy forward. And so the moment we start to kind of fall off balance or give our power away again, we will return back to the ace. So it's kind of reminding us to really try to stay in our power, to really reclaim that power and bring awareness. Falling back into the cycles is just part of the journey, and it's part of the learning. There is nothing wrong with falling back into the cycles. And I feel like this is where we get down on ourselves and we're saying, not this again, and we can't handle it. And the mind just kind of takes over. But if we're able to even reclaim our power back then, stand in our center of whatever we're in, and then bring that spark, bring that choice in, where the page says, okay, I'm ready to take the step forward. That whatever we are in, we always have choice. And that discernment is key to balance. So with heart-inspired action and acceptance and choice, we are able to move forward and create these new paradigms and these new blueprints. So I hope this resonates with you this week. You're all doing amazing. I am really feeling it, and I am encouraging you all to stay in balance by bringing more love and acceptance for wherever and whatever you are at any given moment, and bringing in that radical acceptance and then bringing in choice really helps us stay in our power. So much love and gratitude to you all.